Welcome to Tuesday Tips. My name is Pam Dunwald. I am one of your nurse advocates from Your Nurse Advocates Consulting. And so today for Tuesday Tips, just want to have kind of a frank conversation. A couple of times a year in the spring and in the fall, we provide extra information for families coming together to care for an aging loved one. Whether you're a only child or whether you're one of many siblings, we dedicate, this couple of times a year to really trying to meet the needs of families and give them the tools and everything that they need to be successful in caring for an aging loved one. And to get us started, we are having our masterclass, our free masterclass. And that I'm going to put this up on the screen. So our free masterclass is called The Siblings Roadmap to Care and Support Aging Parents, Navigating Legal, Financial, and Family Challenges. So that's what the webinar is going to cover. We're going to cover those three pillars, those three topics. And when we talk about navigating legal and financial, we're going to talk about just what documents need to be in place. And the reason why we put this first is because if you have the documentation, the advanced directives, the will, the estate planning, if you have all of that done first, then it's going to be much easier to make decisions, and there's going to be a lot less to disagree about. Because for example, I am one of five. I'm the oldest of five siblings caring for an aging mom. My Linda, my counterpart, she is the oldest of six, caring for an aging dad. Both of us just lost moms. Linda lost her mom this past fall, and last spring we lost my mother-in-law. So we've been right in the thick of things with everyone. And so on top of all of our years of RN experience working with seniors and their families, we're also in the trenches. We also have firsthand experience to be able to hopefully help guide you through some of the pitfalls, the landmines, the things that can happen. We're going to share in the masterclass Linda's experience. Linda did not have a great experience with her five other siblings. Like I said, she's one of six, and that's because there wasn't a lot of decisions made ahead of time. Her parents were leery. They thought it was superstitious. They didn't want to put plans in place. So what did that do? That opened up all six kids to disagree on what should happen. And so on my side of the coin, my mom has her estate planning that's all done. She has her financial power of attorney is my one sister. She's in accounting. Her healthcare power of attorney is my little sister, who's a nurse practitioner. I'm the one that lives long distance. I live 4.5 hours away from home. And so I have duties and responsibilities that I can do long distance. So we've got a couple of brothers that don't do really any hands-on care, but they're in charge of the house. They're in charge of maintenance. They're in charge of all these things. My brother is only 5 minutes from mom. So if she calls and she needs something right away, my brother is usually available to go, and he goes very willingly. So a lot of things that we've put in place. We're going to talk about why these decisions need to be made, what decisions need to be made, and what professionals you need to bring in the picture depending on your unique situation. Then we're going to talk about family challenges. We're going to talk about how do you bring siblings together? A lot of people don't understand. It makes a big difference on what your relationships were like when you were kids. And a lot of that carries over into your adulthood. Like, my youngest brother is 15 and a half years younger than I am. He will always be my baby brother. I changed his diapers. We will always have that relationship. So to me, he's always going to be the baby. And so, a lot of these things carry through. And so we're going to talk about communication tips. We're talking about how to keep family members informed. We're going to talk about how to run a family meeting. We're going to address sibling zone of genius. Who's good at what, who should be doing what, and how do you divide those responsibilities? So we're going to talk all about that during our free masterclass. And again, that's the Siblings Roadmap to Care and Support Aging Parents, Navigating Legal, Financial, and Family Challenges. And I'm going to go ahead and put up, this is the registration link, and that will be also in the comment section on our Facebook page, because we are live on our Facebook page for Your Nurse Advocate Consulting. And we're also going to record this, and we will have this up and ready for review for later on. So if you're joining us live, welcome. If you're catching us on the replay, we're very glad that you found this video, and we're happy to serve you as well. And so the last thing, the third pillar that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about during the masterclass, just how do you know when your parents need help? What are some subtle things? Some things we're going to talk about that are really obvious. Some things are going to be a little bit more subtle, some subtle changes, especially if you don't see your parents very often. They could seem like that there's been a big change, although it might have been happening gradually. So we're going to talk about, what do you look for? How do you know when it's time to step in and maybe get more involved in caring for an aging loved one? We're going to talk about, once you identify what some of those needs are, okay, now what do I do about it? What are my resources? What if they have this need? What resource can help me with this? If they have another need, what resource can help me with that? We're going to share some resources for you and give you some tips and strategies to be able to accommodate that. We've got some fun bonuses. We've got a live show up live bonus. We're going to share our download. We're going to share our emergency kind of a toolkit, so to speak. It's a guide as well as a checklist, and it's a emergency to go folder that if something were to happen and your parents, were not able to express their wishes and the ambulance comes, folder's ready to go. It has everything that anybody would need to know, and it's really good, especially if you're traveling and you're out of your area and they may not be able to access. A lot of people misunderstand. They think that, everything's on the computer, but not every hospital system has a computer system that talks. So even though we're in this great technology age, that doesn't mean that if you go across the country, they're going to have the same computer system, the same healthcare, what we call electronic medical record, or EMR. They may have a completely different platform that they store their healthcare data on. So they may not be able to access that. So this emergency to go folder is really, really handy to have with you. And so we're going to have that for all of you that show up live to the masterclass. We're going to have that available for you. And we've got lots of other things in store for those that actually show up live for the free masterclass. And no worries, we will be recording that. And if you register for the masterclass, you will get the recording. But if you attend live, we're going to have some special bonuses and some things for you. So I don't want to spill all the beans, but just want to share a little bit of exciting stuff that we're going to have during that masterclass. We're going to have 3 dates. It's going to be March 12th, March 19th, and March 22nd. It'll be 2 Wednesday evenings, different times, and then we're going to do a Saturday morning. The masterclass will probably run about an hour and a half. So we want to make sure that, you're prepared and that you allow enough time. We're going to do, at the end, we're going to do and answer questions. So don't worry, we're going to hang out and get all of your questions answered, because we want to be able to give you all the tools. And I'm going to leave you before we, end this Tuesday tips. I want to share a little story with you. One of our clients, been with them for over a year. They're in our Your Nurse Advocate Now program, which is our monthly program that we've talked about now and then in the past. So we do 2 check-in calls a month with them. And so what happened is she fell in the shower. She was doing very, very well. So she didn't use her shower chair because she thought she was doing so good. Fell, broke her ankle, landed in the hospital, was able to have surgery on that ankle. They had to put pins and screws and all that in there. So what she expected was just a couple of days stay, then having to go to rehab for some therapy, because she was going to be non-weight bearing, not able to walk on that foot for 6 weeks. So it was not going to be feasible for her to be at home. She had 13 stairs to get up to her bedroom. So she's going to go into rehab. But with having an advocate I was every day checking in with them. I could look at my chart. I was looking at their labs. We were comparing notes, making sure, because what I want to say is we think that when we go into the hospital or we go into a nursing home or we go into assisted living, we don't have to worry about it. We just turn all the care over to the professionals and everything is easy peasy. Everything goes right. Everything goes smoothly. Nothing's forgotten. That's not the case. When you go into the hospital, and then like this client, the goal was to go to a nursing home and then go home, those are called transitions. And 65% of medication errors, as well as other errors in healthcare, occur during these transitions. Now, this particular client was dealing with low sodium issues. She was on fluid restrictions. She could only have 32 ounces of water a day at home. When she got in the hospital, nobody knew anything about that. Nobody checked her records. Nobody asked. So they were giving her fluids at will. Her sodium was going down too low. She caught pneumonia. She ended up in ICU. She ended up on a ventilator. She ended up spending 30 days in the hospital, and now she's got this boot on for her ankle that she's supposed to leave on at all times. And so when she got up in ICU, they kept taking the boot off. Well, I finally had to tell the family to put a darn note on the door and said, do not remove the boot. The orthopedic surgeon had to come up to ICU twice to manipulate and bend that foot because she was getting foot drops. So he had to keep putting it back, and that boot actually held it in place. And so we had to stay on top of that. We had to stay on top of, she has some mental health issues. We had to stay on top of those medicines that they weren't giving her, and they changed all up in the hospital. So many things can go on during these transitions, and that you really have to learn to be an advocate for your aging loved one. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about also during our master classes. How do you advocate, for your loved one? And so I just want to say, in wrapping up, caring for an aging loved one is truly a labor of love. What I will say is I encourage all of you, if you're in the weeds now caring for an aging loved one, if you're thinking that, the time is coming around the corner, you're anticipating you're going to have to start stepping in, you see some little changes, I encourage you to come and get on the free masterclass, because what I can't impress upon all of you enough is that people don't know what they don't know. You don't know how to stay on top of things if you don't know what questions to ask. You assume that everything is going well, but if you don't ask the right questions, you don't know. And so I really, really encourage everyone to really do yourself and your family a favor by attending the free masterclass, because again, it's not only doing the best that you can, but again, it's that not knowing what you should know. It's filling in those blanks. It's connecting the dots, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, that we want to make sure that we help you with. So I'm really encouraging you, check out the link, go ahead and register. We've got 3 dates. Hopefully one of the 3 will work out for you. And remember, most importantly, we want you to know that you don't have to do this alone. With teamwork, a little planning, caregiving can truly bring families closer together. When families can come together to care for an aging loved one, it can be a beautiful thing, and it doesn't have to be, a disaster. We've worked with many families that do very, very well as the families that we have to work with to try and improve the communication and the relationship. And remembering that we're all here for one reason, and that's to care for an aging parent or, an aging grandparent. So again, we're going to, the master class, again, let me throw that up there one more time. This is the registration for it. And so this will be available also in the comments. And again, the name of the free masterclass is the Siblings Roadmap to Care and Support Aging Parents, Navigating Legal, Financial, and Family Challenges. So again, we hope to see you there. We promise to bring you the goods. We promise to give you a lot of insights, a lot of information. We've got some surprises and some bonuses and some tools for you that we're going to share for those that attend live. So we're looking forward to seeing you there, and we're looking forward to being able to come alongside you, give you support. You're the true hero in your family. those of you that step up to want to care for an aging loved one, you really, really are the heroes. We just want to be your guide. We're just going to guide you, show you the way, give you the tools that you need so that you can, move forward and really, um, kind of hone those caregiving skills, become that advocate for your aging loved one that you want to be. So allow us to come alongside you and help you. So we will see you soon. Again, go ahead, check out the link to register. Otherwise, we'll be back next week with another Tuesday Tips. Take care and we'll see you soon.